Hi, everybody. This is Miss Pinky, and I'm your host, 14 of Mrs. Pinky Thoughts. And we're here going to be talking to you today about Flag Day, today being the United States Army birthday and also Double Trump's birthday. We're also going to get into the Canadian NAFTA deal, and we're going to talk a little bit about that here today live on Miss Pinky Thoughts. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to join the live podcast and put your comments onto the side of this. And let's get started. Today is June 14th, 2018, and it is the 243rd birthday of the United States Army that was adopted on June 14th, 1775. 2 years later, we had the Congress officially adopt the United States flag in 1777. As a United States Army veteran, I am going to be sitting here saying "who" all day long and shouting out all my friends about the United States Army is that it was as originally called the American Continental Army after Congress reached census position in the Committee of the Whole on the 14th. 2 years later, we had the adoption of the U.S. flag, and everybody knows originally that the U.S. flag had 13 stars and 13 stripes that represented um, the flag. Fun fact is, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, where in the Inner Harbor, Francis Scott Key wrote the Star Spangled Banner, and also from the War of 1812, we had a flag that was considered the one that was still waving, and it's located to this day in Fort McHenry in Baltimore, Maryland. And here are a couple of other fun facts for you guys out there who want to know a little bit more about the American flag, because today is Flag Day. And please do not come on my page disrespecting the United States flag, talking about flag burning or anything, and I'll give you information why and a little bit of why I have some issues with that. Okay, so here's some American flag facts for you today on Flag Day. The first version of the American flag came out in 1777, which displayed 13 stripes and 13 stars, and since had 27 official versions of it. There is no evidence actually that Betsy Ross is the one who actually made the American flag. The only evidence we have is her grandson 100 years later after the flag was made, claiming that his grandmother was the one that made it. The current 50 star pattern was created by a 17-year-old high school student named Robert G. Heft in 1958 for a class project and was chosen by then President Dwight D. Eisenhower out of 1,500 entries on the new way the flag should look. Now, the idea of this flag day that we have today was presented by a teacher named Bernard Shy Grand, sorry if I said his name wrong, in 1885 in Wisconsin. But it wasn't until 1949 that the Congress passed actual legislation marking today as a holiday. However, the national holiday only in Pennsylvania, where the flag was officially created, is actually celebrated throughout the state. Now, according to Charles Thomas, the Secretary of Congress in 1782, the red in the flag actually stands for something. The red stands for valor and hardiness. Blue stands for justice, perseverance, and vigilance. And while the white stands for innocence and purity. So if you're kneeling to the flag because we have police brutality and other issues, it makes no sense because the flag itself stands for justice. The flag itself stands for perseverance. The flag itself stands for vigilance. So instead of kneeling to the flag to get your point across, maybe you should hold the flag, march with the flag, walk with the flag, visit somebody that has a family member that all they have of them is a flag. Because the flag is not just something that have a fetish of patriotism. It's not something that just was adopted to help people feel better about themselves. The flag actually meant something. It meant that Americans were coming. It meant that America was in battle. It meant that America was fighting for others. Now, if you don't think that's what the flag stands for, that's your personal view. But I don't think that there is no more greater disrespect than to do that on the national scene. And it's not more greater disrespect how the Baltimore Ravens team went to London and didn't stand up for our national anthem. Yes, you can have problems with America. You can have problems with the way our police act and behave. You can have problems with the way America is run. All of those are okay. But disrespecting the flag just does disrespect our fallen, does disrespect our service members. You can say until you blue in the face that it's not the same argument, but that's not what we're receiving. That's not what us who died and who died in battle, who have family members who died in battle, that have friends who died in battle, believe. We don't believe you, okay? So the American flag today is Flag Day, and today is the day we set aside to remember not only what it stands for, not only what it symbolizes, and not what only it means. And people will say, well, it's just a symbol. It can be treated any kind of way. Well, yes, how you treat it is what message you send. Because you have things that you hold dear and to your heart. You have things that mean something to you, whether it's your car, your house, your kids. And so yeah, you can tell everybody, Miss April Ryan, I'm looking at you, that it is to stand up to police brutality. But there's 100 million other ways to protest. When Martin Luther King was marching on Selma and he was standing up against the bus strike, he had flags. America belongs to everybody that's American. It belongs to black people as well as the cops. So when you sit here disrespecting the American flag to stand up for the ones who've fallen, you also disrespecting the ones who fell with the flag in their pocket. Now back to today's topic about the American flag. I was giving you some rundowns about that, but I went in a little tangent about that because it really irks me a little bit about how people think that disrespecting the flag is actually honoring people who fell to police brutality. No, if you want to honor those people who fell to police brutality, fight for criminal justice reform, fight for economic freedom that brings a lot of these cities down to dangers and putting cops on edge when they go in there. Fight for better police training. Fight for activists to go to police training so they can understand what cops are up against. There's so many other things you can fight for than kneeling to the American flag. And I'm just going to be done with that topic. Let's talk about more things about the American flag. According to the rules book, the flag should be displayed from sunrise to sunset, and if displayed at night, it should be illuminated. Raising the flag should be done quickly, and lowering it should be ceremoniously. There are rules, and there's a rule book of how to treat the American flag. So when you think it's proper to step on a flag, and there's people out there who have actually got the training on how to properly care for the flag, you're being very ignorant with that. Neil Armstrong placed the United States flag on the moon in 1969 as part of the Apollo 11 mission, and since then, 5 more flags have been placed on its surface. Now, if you want to know people don't believe we went to the moon, that comment and statement is what it is. There's nicknames for the flag. It's called Old Glory, Star Spangled Banner, Red, White, and Blue, and Stars and Stripes. Those are just a few names for the American flag. The largest Flag Day parade is held in Troy, New York each year, which is attended by approximately 50,000 people. So please check out that Flag Day ceremony today in Troy, New York. The blue field should be in the upper left-hand corner when displayed on a window or a wall, and the proper way to view a flag on display is by facing it with your right hand over your heart. Now, if you're a service member and you have a headdress on and you're outside, you always salute the flag. If you're passing it, if it's passing you, and you do it from a certain number of footage. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know I was an NCO, but I can't remember exactly like the proper etiquette when it comes to the American flag for saluting. But if you have a hat on and you had a national baseball, national hockey, national football, national basketball game, and the national anthem is being played and the flag is displayed, you're supposed to take it off. Also, the flag code states it should not be touch anything beneath it and can be destroyed, preferably by burning only when it's no longer suitable for display. The American flag is the highest flag flown. So if you have other flags, like you have the white Christian flag with the blue field and the cross in it, if you have school flags, if you have POW flags, if you have state flags, every single one in American businesses, communities, and schools need to honor that by having the American flag first and all the other flags second. I know a lot of people are upset because the Korean flag was sitting next to the United States flag and we say that North Korea is a dictator. But that does not mean that we're ignoring that North Korea is a dictator. We're trying to level the playing field so that he would come to the table so that we can denuclearize North Korea. Okay, no one is saying that we honoring Kim Jong-un and that we are respecting his position as a killer, a murderer, a dictator. Because before any of this took place, we had to get our people back. Before any of this took place, we have to speak on Otto Rambler, okay? North Korea needs to know that America is the force that's going to stop any terrorism across the country. And yes, we will stop the terrorism here. If you think you can walk around with tiki torches and go around stopping people with your little tiki torch and your racism, then no. And also the same thing goes for everybody else. Just because you're running around with your tantrum and you think America's bad, don't mean that everybody's going to sit there and put up with you burning a flag. Now, is it legal to burn a flag? Yes. Burning a flag is a freedom of speech covered by the freedom of expression, which came out of World War II veterans who were drafted and they didn't want to be drafted. I'm sorry, World War One service members who didn't want to be drafted into the World War, so they started burning their draft cards. So that's when freedom of expression found others, freedom of speech. But before that, there wasn't even no freedom of expression. Freedom of speech was just written or spoken words. It wasn't any kind of demonstration and all that. But we can get into that another day. But this is Mrs. Pinky. I'm your host. This is Mrs. Pinky Thoughts. Today is June 14, 2018, Flag Day and Army Birthday. I'll be back with you in just a second as I get my information for the United States Army. Oh, I have a couple of my own personal American flag thoughts and things. When I was serving in my first tour in 2008, we had this pen pal program where people can come in and online and sign up and then pick a soldier, and then they can donate boxes of hygiene products and snacks and anything they wanted to send to a soldier. And I had a 10-year-old girl who wanted to see a female veteran. And when I got my box from her, in the box was a lot of snack items, a lot of feminine hygiene items. And one thing that I hold dear was my flag. I have a personal United States flag that was folded like it's properly should be from a 10-year-old girl. Her name was Stephanie. And it was so beautiful that I've never for 10 years unfolded it or removed it from my, I never removed it from my things returning back from Iraq. And that flag from my first tour to this day is still folded. Also, I would like to, and you heard me ramble a little bit, and I'm going to just say this, that the worst thing that a service member could ever do is see someone that they loved and that they served with come home in a coffin. But you don't only see the coffin. You go to a whole ceremony that's drawn out to honor that fallen comrade. And one of the main things that happens at that ceremony is the flag that's on the coffin, as the coffin is being brought to its final resting place, is folded and then it's given to his or her family members. And that flag is the last article that the Gold Star family has of that loved one. So when I see the American flag, I do have a tear in my eye still as a veteran. I'm not serving anymore right now, but when I see a flag on someone's house, I see a flag on a building, it reminds me of those people that I didn't bring back with me when we went twice to Iraq. It reminds me of those people who fought so African Americans could have rights in this country, that gay people could have rights in this country, that women could have rights in this country. That flag represents what's good in America, not what's wrong. The flag does not represent that. It represents the good in us, the good people, the ones who want to fight for what's right. No matter if you're left or if you're right leaning, I think that sometimes that passion gets mixed up in the rhetoric of whether you're Republican or Democrat, and we don't realize the side effects of what we do. But the flag is also humbling and remind me to be grateful that I did serve my country for 5 years, that I did serve with some awesomely wonderful men and women, that one of the best ones is my best friend and my husband, Mr. P, and we were in the same unit, we was in the same platoon, we was in the same squad. And I have to give a shout out to Gulf Company 307th Brigade Support Battalion, 3rd and 319th Field Artillery Unit in the 82nd Airborne Division. Who, happy birthday, happy Army birthday to all my friends who are still serving. I know a lot of them are overseas. Some are actually even in Korea as the president is talking about it. But I just have to mention that. And the United States Army has been adopted 2 years, in 1775, and then the flag was adopted in 1777. But today we was going to talk about that because today is June 14, 2018, and it's the 243rd birthday of the United States Army and the 221st birthday of the United States flag. Today is also the birthday of President Donald Trump, who turned 72 years today. And yes, that doesn't mean I support him, and it means I don't. I'm just recognizing that it is kind of ironic that the President of the United States now, President Donald Trump's birthday, is also on Flag Day and the United States birthday. I don't care who you are. I think that coincidence is kind of crazy. And that is the first part of Miss Pinky Thoughts. I'm your host, Mrs. Pinky, and I will be back with a second video where we're going to deviate a little bit from today's holiday. We're going to talk about another up-and-coming holiday, which is Father's Day, and our wonderful men that are in our lives that are doing the right thing. Today's topic about Father's Day is not about single mothers. It's not about bashing the men who weren't there. If you have issues with a absentee father, absentee father, absentee baby daddy, please save that for tomorrow or yesterday. Today is not the day that I'm going to discuss that's who was in there. I had a father. I have a father, and he's actively in my life. I called him last night, and we had a good chat on the phone. My husband is a great father. I have uncles that are great fathers. Both of my granddaddies were good fathers. My great grandfather, because he outlived my grandfather on my dad's side, I used to call him granddaddy, but he was technically my great granddaddy. Even he was a good father. He was an elder in the apostolic Christian faith, and he loved the Lord, and he wore suits 24/7. His son was also a minister, and he loved the Lord, and he raised my dad to love the Lord. And because of him, I have a passion for Christ because it's in my family tree. On my other side, we have my granddaddy, and his name is passed throughout to my uncle and to cousins and things. So it's so many of them all with the same name. And I've met in my life more good dads than not so good dads. So I want to honor every single one of them. My cousins, my uncles, my brothers. Oh, yes, my brothers, my three little best friend boys. Yes, they're so good. My older brother has two wonderful daughters. My other brother has two wonderful sons. And then my youngest brother just had his baby boy that is so wonderful. And I just love seeing them all and their relationship with their kids. And yes, all of them also have good relationships with their wives. And that is just wonderful that I think it's because of the leadership of my father and the patriarch in my family that I really believe that's why all the kids that are married are married, because my father and my mother, they will celebrate their 36th wedding anniversary in July. And they've been a good example of how husbands and wives should treat one another, how marriages work, and how fathers and mothers raise their children. And they raised six of us. I'm number 2, but it's 6 of us. And on the other side, Mr. P, my husband, is a great and awesome dad. Like, I can remember how he was nervous, how he was wondering how he's going to be a good dad, and just the way that, like, when my son says, "Daddy's home," and Kid Pinky is just loving his dad, and that bond and that relationship that they have is great. So this Father's Day is coming up Sunday. Yes, I'm going to do something for Dad. And my son has actually got his little project going that he's going to do. And he's trying so hard. He's doing so good making sure that his dad doesn't find out. But we're going to celebrate Dad. And I want to celebrate dads. But I also want to celebrate my Heavenly Father, Christ Jesus, and say thank you, Lord, for allowing me to be able to be on YouTube, for me to be able to express my opinion, for me to even have a podcast, for me to be alive, for me to make it back from my wreck, for me to have my sanity, my right mind, Lord. And I just want to say, I thank you, God. I know Father's Day is not for that, but I make it for that, because if it wasn't for the Lord, it wasn't for my dad, it wasn't for my husband, these great men, you will always think that something's wrong with their gender. But no. These men are great men, and these men are good men. So this holiday is for them. And I just want to mention that. And if anybody is watching this live on Twitter.com right now, and you want to shout out a male in your life, you want to shout out the United States Army, you want to shout out Flag Day, please join me here. And if you sign into YouTube and then you create an account, you'll see this window right here with me. And if you go to the right, it says Top Chat, and then you can join in the show. This show is live episode of Miss Pinky Thoughts, and today is Thursday, June 14th, American Flag Day. I'm going to sit here and see and check my feed to see if anybody can jump on in and let me know who is the man of their life, who is the guy that they want to shout out. He might even be a United States veteran. I know my uncle served in the United States Army. I have a couple of cousins out there that are Marines. I have a couple of my sister is a sailor. My brother's a Marine. I have a couple of other people. So I know some people who are celebrating that man in their life are also celebrating Flag Day and United States Army. And today, again, is June 14th, and this is Mrs. Pinky Thoughts, episode 14. Hi, Pepper. Serving somewhere in Africa. Oh, I understand. I understand. It's operational security, so you can't really tell. I know my family used to get so annoyed when I was coming back home from tours in Iraq, and they'd be like, "So when you coming or where you coming?" I'm like, "I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you." But hi, Ian. Thank you for serving your country. Your loved one is shouting you out right now. I would like to shout out a friend named Curtis Jackson, who was my leader in the military, but he's serving over in South Korea right now. And with this whole talks about North Korea and South Korea, I was wondering if some of my good friends who serve over there, and some of them might not want to because they love Korea over there, I was wondering if they get to come home. And I don't know what the president is plan is going to keep a security force in Korea, or what is he going to do with that? Because I would love to see a parade of, the actual end of the Korean War, and see, actual family members. And I know a lot of people found the love of their lives over there, and so they can always go back with their husband and a wife. And I know a lot of people who mom is Korean and their dad is another race, or their dad is Korean and their mom is another race, just because of the years we've been spending occupying South Korea. And the food is good. I met a lot of good South Korean ladies because I was a United States Army cook, and they would be in the kitchen and they would show us some of the Korean, barbecue and the kimchi and all of that good stuff. So we have a great relationship with South Korea, but I was also always wondering if some of the people that I serve with would come back. All right, Pepper, thank you very much. Anytime you share with me is time appreciated. Thank you very much, and to you too. And anybody else who's out today, I know this is early. I know some people are at work or whatever, but I wanted to just get this out there so I can let everybody know today is Flag Day. Today is the president's birthday, and today is the birthday of the United States Army. And I am an Army vet who serving 5 years from 2006 to 2011. And then I just branched off to do other stuff with my life. And my husband also served. He served in the United States Army. I have a cousin. Her name is KP, and I want to shout her out as Army. And I have another cousin, AP, who she's also. And I know tons and tons of females that serve, tons and tons of black people who serve, tons and tons of LGBT people who serve. So when you step on the flag and when you disrespect the flag, to me, it's like you're forgetting us. You're forgetting us. And I really believe, I know you really want to fight for police brutality and how you feel that these cops are getting away with murdering minorities, LGBT, or whatever. I understand the protest. I understand the passion. What I don't understand is the methodology of the way you're going about it. Like, for example, the NFL has a big 35-minute halftime with nothing to do. That could have been totally a show-stopping, story or play about police brutality. That could have been a whole speech about that. You could go on TV and make ads. You could go, door to door and ask people to sign petitions about, retraining our cops. There's so many other avenues that you can go that disrespecting or kneeling to the flag. I mean, you don't have to, obviously. There's no law, no thing to say you have to stand for the flag. There's no law to say you can't kneel to the flag. But I'm just showing you why it bothers, some of us who serve, some of us who are proud to be American. And I always ask people, if you want to come in and talk to me, and I'm on Twitter right now, MRS_PINKY85. You want to come in and talk to me and discuss why you think the flag is racist, why you don't respect the flag, why you think that, black people shouldn't serve, women shouldn't serve, LGBT shouldn't serve. Let me know, because we can have this discussion. Like, that's the thing I hear all the time, is that we need to discuss this, we need to discuss that. But I'm here, I got a mic, I got a headset, I got accounts. Come discuss it. Let's talk about this. And then maybe we can get some understanding of how each other, because I'm seeing American against American fighting, and that needs to stop. We're not going back to the Civil War where we lost almost 600,000 American people fighting when we could have just sat down and talked. Now, if Donald Trump can talk to Kim Jong-un, if Jay-Z can squash it with Nas, if people can sit down, we are Americans. We should be showing the world how we handle business. And if we can't handle business amongst ourselves, how can we handle business with everybody else? So if you have something different you would like to say, come join me on Miss Pinky Thoughts. Today is Thursday Thoughts, and I'm your host, Mrs. Pinky, and it's Miss Pinky Thoughts. I'm also available on anchor.fm/MRSPINKY if you want to check me out later, if you want to hear the show. It's been recording for 25 minutes on anchor.fm, so there's a visual where you can look at my face, or there's also audio where you can look online. I also have a couple of articles out on patreon.com/MRS_PINKY. And if you would like to contribute in some kind of way, if you're getting tired of seeing this plain black background, if you want to hear music, if you want to hear better quality, maybe you can go over there and donate. I want to give you guys information on this app that I use. It's called acorn.com. It's an investment app. It takes money that you contribute and invest it into the United States stock market. On Acorn, you can donate $5, $10, $15, or $20 once a month to your future. It's money on top of your money. It says by the time I become 72, somewhere around there, that I will have $100,000. I keep investing this every month. And these monies go in actual bonds, U.S. bonds, and actual publicly traded companies like Samsung, Amazon, Sephora. It's a whole list, and you get to decide if you go in and you're like, I don't like Starbucks. Boom, you don't have to give them money. I don't like this company. Boom, you don't have to give them money. You can go in there and you can fix it. Now, I only started this like 2.5 weeks ago with $20. I threw $20 in there. Then also they have this thing called Fill Up, where they take your change that's in your bank account, whichever bank account you link to it, and like say you buy a $5.05 cup of coffee, they'll take the 95-cent change that you would have gotten back and they invest it back into your investment. So for 2 weeks, I do $20 in there. I do $5 extra in my fill-ups in there, and that's $30. But now I'm already at like $35, $40. And I talked to a lot of other people who do acorns, and one mom, she invested in her grandkids' future, and she's already up to $800, and she just started June 1st. So it all depends on what you invest in. And I mean, if you wasting money on lottery tickets or coffee every day, you can take that little bit of change and just throw it into an investment account, and you have no thinking about it. It's not like you got to dump change out on your table and then count it. So I have a promo code for Acorns, and then when you sign up, you'll have a promo code that you can share, and then we all can get our bag for 2018. We all can get money out of this. And if you're tired of seeing people, doing bad and not having money and not getting that job that pay $15 an hour, why don't you take your little change and invest it in and watch your investments go up, and then maybe you can help those people. So the website is www.acorns, ACORNS /invite, INVITE / all capital letters DC7TZK. Again, that's invite /DC7TZK. And that's Acorns, where you can invest money. I'm not giving you advertising where they asking for money and then they want you to just come in and you just wasting money. This is so you can make money on top of your money. So I don't want to hear my followers talking about they don't got no money. I'm just telling you right now how to make some. And the lowest amount is $5, and then it's from there. Now, someone asked me, is there any kind of processing fees in that? I'm not sure, because I have not tried to withdraw anything. But the same money that I put in is the money that is getting invested. So there is that. And this is episode 14 of Speaky Thoughts. I'm your host, Mrs. Pinky. I wanted to run down something really quick. I know I asked before I realized that today's episode was going to be all these days that we celebrated. I asked my listeners what they wanted me to talk about. And I just want to talk from a business standpoint and put on my business hat. This is just business. This is not politics. This is not my personal feelings. But NAFTA, North Atlantic Free Trade Agreement, that was signed in the 1990s. NAFTA is a problem right now because what President Trump is trying to do, whether you like him or whether you agree with him, what he's trying to do is stop a loophole that's allowing companies from like Asia and Europe to come into Mexico and Canada, put their companies up, and then get into our markets without us getting any money for it. He want to close that loophole, not because he want to hurt Canada or Mexico. That makes no sense. Why would he want to hurt them? He's trying to fatten his pockets, and he got businesses too. So what he's trying to do is close those loopholes so that way that if a business wants to, like, say they want steel or they want aluminum or they want wood from the United States, they have to put it in California. They have to put the business in Virginia. They have to put the business in Texas. Not go down to Mexico and then sneak the wood and stuff across our unsecured border. Now, a lot of people, because they don't like Trump, because Trudeau is left-leaning, because he's nice to, Muslims and stuff, they want to misconstrue that as targeting Canada's national security. How would that actually help us, regardless if he's racist, if he don't like Muslims or whatever? That won't fatten Donald Trump's pockets to have Canada mad at us. But he also can't care if Canada's saying, oh, that'll hurt my economy. Well, America's $21 trillion in debt. We got open borders. We have people exploiting our trade agreements. We have people asking us to be in the Paris Agreement and Paris climate. With what money? Like people say, oh, we shouldn't have withdrew from the G7. We shouldn't have withdrew from Paris. Okay, because all y'all asking us to do is to keep paying. The United States is the number one nation that's cleaning up the climate. Yet y'all still want us to pay for this Paris Agreement. Yet China and India are the most populous nations in the world, and they sitting there saying they don't have time to be worrying about that. They got poor people. We got poor people too. We got people dying on the street. We got people in San Francisco right now on drugs. I don't care what the reason that you're saying. America's broke right now. Can we worry about us first and then get everybody else? That's all that's going on with this Canadian trade deal that everybody think we're going to go to war with Canada. We're not trying to war with Canada. They on our border up north. We got a problem with our border on the south. What we're saying is, look, Canada and Mexico, y'all have been exploiting our markets, and we need jobs here. Our jobs are leaving. People are putting plants in Mexico just to exploit. No, our people need money. Now, y'all want the government to raise minimum wage to $15 an hour, liberals. How can we do that with no jobs? I'm asking. So yeah, Canada's mad. Trudeau says that he thinks that this is going to hurt his economy. Of course, he's going to look at his economy from his point of view. But what is wrong with America looking at our own economy? Y'all tell us to mind our business, stop being the world police, stop having these military bases all over the world, stop telling everybody about democracy and trying to tell us what to do. Okay, so Trump said, okay, America first. Now y'all saying he racist because he a nationalist and not a globalist. Okay, what y'all want the man to do then about Canada exploiting NAFTA? Tell me what y'all want Trump to do. Because until y'all can prove that he ain't president and that y'all impeach him, he president. So what y'all want this man to do? That's a dead question right there. Point blank period. What do y'all want him to do? Please join my show. This is Miss Pinky Thoughts. I'm your host, Miss Pinky. And if you're catching my show later when you get off of work, you still can comment. You can comment down at the bottom after you click like and subscribe, obviously. Or you can comment on the side. I might come back later because I know a lot of people are at work, but I'm trying to get this in because obviously I got to plan stuff for my own husband's Father's Day and everything. And I want to celebrate Flag Day with a couple other people. But tell me, please. A lot of people saying that they don't like Trump, that he a liar, that he do this. Well, guess what? The liar, orange, baby hand dude is president. So what do y'all want him to do? Give me some solutions. If you got a better way to deal with Canada and Mexico, give it to me. If y'all can tell me why y'all don't go after Mexico for treating their people so bad that they got to keep coming here, tell me about that. If y'all got an issue with the heroin epidemic, the cocaine epidemic, you know, if y'all don't like what he did with Alice Johnson, y'all don't like him lying, y'all think Hillary would make a better president, okay. Give me a suggestion. What you think Hillary should be doing right now? Maybe part in her campaign for 2020. Maybe going out there taking that money that she's making all these speeches and helping the poor. Maybe to stop patronizing African Americans with her hot sauce. I mean, if y'all have problems with these people, what are y'all gonna do? You know? If anybody who believes in burning the flag or kneeling to the flag because the flag is racist or sexist and all this stuff, please come talk to me because I want to tell you what that flag really means to me, and maybe that'll help you think twice about how you protesting. I'm not saying that you shouldn't protest. Everybody has a right to protest. You can protest that the sky is blue and it should be green. You can protest whatever you want. But what my problem is that people want to protest their way and expect no criticism. You have the freedom of speech. You have the freedom to say whatever you want, but you also are not free from criticism. I know people going to criticize me right now. They're going to criticize my hair. They're going to criticize my double chin. I don't know. But I'm not going to sit here and not say what I say because y'all going to criticize me. I'm not going to sit up here and get mad at you for criticizing me. That's the only way we can go forward is talking to each other, is engaging each other. Now, on Sunday, I hope you guys who have good fathers or know a good father, they might not be a father to you, but they might be a father to someone else. It might be a man that is just extremely hard worker and he has kids. Please go out there and thank them. Please go out there and celebrate them. Celebrate them the same way you would any of these women on Mother's Day. Men need to deserve attention too. Yeah, y'all want to talk about the patriarchy and women this and women that, but not everyday guys are even like that. Not everyday males are like that. Yes, masculine is different than feminine. Men express their emotions and feelings a little bit different, okay? Talk to these men. Get their opinions. Try to see why the world is the way it is. If you want it to change and you don't want it to be male dominated, see how we women can contribute. Maybe sit back and just listen to them. But this Father's Day is not about talking about women saying, "Oh, I do both. I'm man." No, that's not what it's about on my show. My show today is to honor fathers who've been there the entire time, that will continue to be there. Fathers, stepfathers, dads, uncles, brothers, all the men who are doing the right thing. We salute you. We honor you. We thank you. Okay. And if you know a father who's not doing the right thing or not doing anything, maybe you can reach out and see if he has mental issues, health issues, whatever. If he's just gone completely, don't worry about somebody that left. They don't want to be there, don't worry about them. Because when you succeed, they're not going to be there to eat off that fruit, okay? This is Miss Pinky Thoughts. This is episode 14. I'm your host. And these are my thoughts on a Canadian trade deal, Flag Day, U.S. Army birthday, President's birthday, and just my thoughts in general. These are my thoughts. My mind is open to you. You can pick my brain. We can talk. Let's go. Oh, since I'm doing a live show, today is we gotta still do a pink nugget, and I'm gonna give you a pink nugget. And I think I'm gonna pick a pink nugget, something my father has said, and my father says something all the time. I'm gonna give you some advice if you're trying to get a job or whatever. My dad, and this is the pink nugget for today, he always was said to try to find a career, not a job. And the difference between the two is a job is something that you just do here, there, like sweeping the floor, like mowing the lawn. But a career is something you can do so you can take it anywhere. You can even take it overseas. A career would be like a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a chef, a commercial driver, a correctional officer, a United States soldier, IT specialist. My dad always advised us growing up that you want to get a career because if that industry or that company that you work for folds up, you can just take your career and go elsewhere. And if you get tired of this state, you can live in another state. If you get tired of America, you can go do it overseas and be an overseas liaison. So my pink nugget for today is advice from my dad, Mr. P, that if you're out there, go seek a career. And you don't need to go to a 4-year school to get a career. You don't even need to go to a prestigious school. You can go be an apprentice for somebody. You can go to pilot program. You can become a firefighter. And there's a lot of grants and a lot of things out there for you, especially if you're LGBT or female or you're low income. Also, if you're disabled or you're not exactly sure if you can continue the job that you're doing, try your local voc rehabilitation office, and they'll try to point you in the right direction. If you need assistance with Social Security, VA benefits, if you need assistance with job placement, like you just need unemployment information, try your local unemployment office. They have listings of job openings. Now, I would suggest to some people that you sometimes have to take a step back to take a step forward. Meaning you might have to take a job with lesser pay than you're making right now in order to go up in that career. You might have to go and get a degree that your current degree doesn't give you any credits for. But go look. Google is a wonderful tool. If you don't like Google, go. I'm sorry. You can use Yahoo. You can use a number of search engines. And don't forget, the local library still exists. Yes, the library still exists, and they have computers, they have librarians, they have people that actually post job offers in your local area. If you want to run for politics, go research. If you want to go do this, research. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, go do that. Buy your lawnmower and then make that a career. Become a landscaper. Start with just mowing a couple of grasses, learning how to fertilize the grass and get it green, and then go out there and becoming, Mr. So-and-so's weed removal program. I'm so tired of hearing about people doing bad, and I can only do so much myself. I'm not rich in no way, shape, or form. But I think the best thing you can do for people is to drop knowledge. You can become an apprentice. You can go work for somebody. If you like somebody and what they do, hey, so ask them, can you just get some free time on the weekend to show you how to get some skills? Open up YouTube and not watch a music video or a cat video, and type in what you don't know how to do and have somebody who knows what they're doing show you. Like, I just learned how to place backsplash, and we're going to try to put that in our kitchen. I learned how to braid my son's hair. I learned how to try to take care of my hair. YouTube is very good for vast knowledge. Now, I'm not saying it just because I have a YouTube channel. You can go on Twitch. You can go on a lot of other sites. I can't think of one right off the top of my head, but there's other websites that are exactly like YouTube. You can create your own podcast if you go to anchor.fm, and you can just talk just like me and then spread it around. I got a SoundCloud now. I got a Patreon now. You can go to boost.com and make t-shirts and draw something. If you can draw, if you can cook, if you can clean, if you can work, you can find something. And if you think you're oppressed and disadvantaged, okay, you're oppressed and disadvantaged. But what are you going to do about it? Are you going to just sit here and not do nothing? So my pink nugget for you today comes from my dad. It says, try to find a career, not a job. Again, that's try to find a career, not a job. And like me, I got my hands on so many things right now. I'm trying to write a book. I'm trying to draw. I'm trying to, so sometimes you have to just throw stuff out there and see what you can get. My phone is ringing, so that could be the sign that this is the end of the show of Miss Pinky Thoughts. I'm your host, Ms. Pinky. Thank you for joining me on episode 14, and I'll see you next time.